But I had seen a stocky white golden at the park years before, and had, of course, implored my husband to stop the car so that I could sprint across a field to find out what kind of dog I was seeing. That memory bubbled up as I searched for our next family member. My internet searches for healthy Goldens merged with my searches for broader skulled Goldens, ultimately culminating in the Holy Grail: English-type Golden Retrievers. I was smitten with their particular conformation and the way especially pale Goldens look like baby polar bears. But the search for our next family member proved to be far more challenging than I'd expected. After losing Daisy to cancer at such a young age, and watching my parents lose their Goldens to cancer at young ages, I was determined to find a puppy who had a better chance at a long life. Sifting through slipshod health clearances and haphazard pairings, I was alarmed by the lack of intentionality in breeding programs. Website after website revealed canine parents without joint clearances or with expired eye clearances, despite the fact that a quick internet search revealed that dysplasia and cataracts are both problematic in the Golden Retriever breed. Conversations with breeders revealed an appalling lack of knowledge about the genetics involved in choosing a breeding pair. The deeper I dived into the hallmarks of a healthy Golden Retriever, the more dismayed I became by the lack of ethically bred Goldens. It occurred to me that if I was struggling so mightily to find a healthy Golden, then so was everyone else who loves this breed. Because I had scaled back my work in the legal field, and because my kids were entering the schooling years, the idea of breeding them myself began to percolate. I permitted myself to reach back into the dream vault, remembering the conversations Brian and I had as newlyweds about raising colts, puppies, and kids. The what if worked its way into my mind, and the dream of breeding Goldens firmly rooted itself in my heart. A slumbering interest in breeding blossomed into resolve. I grew invigorated with the idea of raising healthy, emotionally balanced puppies. I dreamed of helping others avoid the kind of heartache we had experienced in saying goodbye to Daisy at an age when she should have had many years left. As is often the case, there was a silver lining in the pain of her early death, and I was beginning to see it. Saying goodbye to Daisy had brought with it loneliness and sadness, a home devoid of pattering paws and rampant furballs. But it also birthed Nicholberry Goldens. Ever the encourager, my husband was immediately supportive. Wide-eyed and excited, we didn't know then that this endeavor would tax our finances, our family, and our marriage. We never imagined that we'd someday valiantly give mouth to a newborn puppy, only to have her go rigid in our hands. We didn't envision 2 weeks of around-the-clock feeding, only to lose a puppy whose body just couldn't rally. We couldn't conceive of burying puppies who, for myriad reasons, were called to the Rainbow Bridge after just a few short days of life. But mostly, we didn't anticipate the people. We didn't foresee the pictures of a 2-year-old Golden we'd brought into this world, protectively curled around the newborn child who had just joined his family. We couldn't predict the email describing the awakening of a dormant soul at a residential care facility when one of our dogs sat at her feet. Nor the story of our silly Mr. Orange marrying his golden girlfriend Blondie at Children's Hospital Los Angeles. Or the therapy dogs who comforted firefighters battling the Thomas Fire in Southern California. The family pet licking the tears of her heartbroken teenager. The puppy who intuited that his mom had restless leg syndrome and that it would be helped by lying on her. Hundreds of people have welcomed us into the most sacred places in their lives, sharing all the ways the puppies we raise.